They've struggled at that offensive line position over the last few years. If the first game was any indication of what he has brought, their O-line played phenomenal in the first game. Let's see if they can repeat that performance today versus Southern Miss.
Southern Miss won the toss. They will defer to the second half, so Miami will receive. And Briggs Bourgeois puts toe to leather, and we are underway. Keyshawn Smith will keep it in the end zone as much as he wanted to bring it out, and it'll be a touchback, and we'll see Tyler Van Dyke in this Miami offense from the 25.
Yeah, we mentioned Tyler Van Dyke in the open. He's 6'4", 225-pound sophomore out of Glastonbury, Connecticut, and we talked about him coming on the scene, and it was just early on. Rhett Lashley, the offensive coordinator last year, kind of slow played his progression. A lot of short passes. Was very safe with the play calling, and then after about 3 games said, look, we got to open it up. They see his arm strength in practice, let him throw the ball downfield, and that's when he really turned into TVD.
Canes will open with Henry Parrish, the Ole Miss transfer at tailback. He takes the swing pass. Eludes a tackler, gets about 4 more yards. The third member of our crew is Larisha Harris on the field.
Well, guys, Tyler Van Dyke told me that the focal point of emphasis this week for him was maturity, and that included his accuracy, poise in the pocket, his reads, understanding the defense. He wants to capitalize on every opportunity he gets on the field today. Offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis agreed and said a lot of people often forget that Tyler is actually only in his 2nd year of college football, so he's relatively young.
All right, thank you, Larisha. Parrish again up the middle. This time he picks up another 4. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
And you see, the first play was a pass, but it's basically a run play. Get the ball out, get your wide receivers out in front blocking, and you're going to see that. Josh Gaddis, this is really a power spread type offense, but you're going to see a lot of the West Coast concepts where you're going to get short passes, some crossing routes, and on 3rd and 1, have really a lot of the playbook open.
Arroyo, one of the tight ends in motion. We get whistles, we got movement before the play even happens, so 3rd and 1 suddenly becomes 3rd and 6.
False start, offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Jerry Magalanis, our referee today, part of this ACC crew.
And 3rd and 1 going to 3rd and 6 obviously is a completely different play call. Bring in Will Mallory, number 85 at tight end. You see him in line towards the top of your screen, and then in the slot down the bottom is number 7, Xavier Restrepo.
Van Dyke looking to the sideline, picking up the play. Restrepo in motion. Van Dyke will look his way, now back over to the middle, fires over the middle, ball's low, couldn't hit Mallory, it's incomplete. And what a nice defensive stop for Southern Miss here early, Mark. 3 and out, they'll get the ball.
Yeah, I really like the way Southern Miss defense played last week. They play with purpose, they play with intensity, and it's just a low pass. Getting off the field.
Lou Headley will punt for Miami. Lou Headley Lamar.
He didn't punt at all last week.
Didn't have to. They put up 70. Take the day off, young man. Although in this kind of heat, what's the last thing you want to do? Just sitting around out there in the sun? Get out there and play, and he gets off to a good start here. Good punt. Brooks fair catch at his own 18, and that's where we'll see Southern Miss 52 yards on the kick from Headley.
And now it's going to be the question of, okay, who's going to come out at quarterback? Ty Keys, we saw him warming up number 5 today. And there's also Zach Wilkie, who's a true freshman, 6'3", 195-pounder out of Mississippi, as many players on this team are. And you see Wilkie right there, number 12.
Taking his first snap, by the way, not just his first start. He didn't play last week, so. Against the Canes, Wilkie is making his first appearance for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Got Gore and Jason Brownlee, the wideout in the backfield. Give us to Brownlee. Gore's in front, giving him a block. Can he get to the edge? No. Good pursuit by Miami.
Nice job by number 11, Corey Flagg, the leader linebacker on this defense, of just tracking down from inside out. Watch number 11. Little false step, but then you see the speed. Miami's got some speed, and Southern Miss feels like they can match the speed, but that was a really good job pursuing inside out by Flag.
Wilkie to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He'll run. Got out to about the 27, so that's a good run on second down by Wilkie. You know, talking to Coach Hall about him, Ty Keys can run. Wilkie, not so much. So a less of a factor in terms of being able to tuck the ball and run, but on that play, picked up good yards to set up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, they talked about phenomenal arm with him, and that was a good run. They said, look, in terms of his running, he's not a zero by any means. Not a zero. I love that term. And now he's under center with that tight back. Looks like that belly dive option, which is another wrinkle in their offense.
Give us to Gore. Looking for any kind of room and doesn't have much. Now does he have enough for the first down? Wayman Steed was there to make the stop for the Canes. Let's check the mark. Officials are doing just the same.
Yeah,
first down.
And as they signal that first down, get ready for a lot of different types of offense. There's going to be 3 different, completely different offenses that Southern Miss runs. They can run their regular spread offense, which we saw in play 1. Then the belly G, which we saw on that last play.
They're going
to do wing T and wildcat. It's going to be a lot for this Miami defense to handle.
Like as many wrinkles as there are in dirty laundry. Gore. Yeah. He doesn't have a whole lot of room to run. Give him a yard. Daryl Jackson Jr., the transfer from Maryland. Both these teams, Mark, have a ton of transfers, as so many teams do. Miami as well. You got on that defensive front, Daryl Jackson's former Maryland Terrapin. Akeem Messidor's a former West Virginia Mountaineer. Second down and 9. Fake to Gore. Wilkie tries to throw, and the pass is low. Incomplete, intended for Jacarius Caston.
Yeah, Jacarius Caston had that slant route, deep slant open. And that's some nerves that you got to shake out, get the ball up, lead your receiver. But 3rd and 9, got that bunch formation at the top of the screen. Miami looks like they're playing man. Let's see if they can pass off those routes.
Wilkie checks the sideline. See if Miami brings pressure here. They're showing 5. And they bring 4. Wilkie throws over the middle, has his receiver complete. That's going to be close to the marker. Caston again. This time the throw is on the mark. And they'll move the chains.
And that was a throw with confidence. You saw it was just a different release. Watch, is a little slip as he's moving forward, but watch this release. It's different. Throws it out there, good ball, picked up the first down, and Southern Miss, they feel like they can match up personnel-wise with Miami.
Back-to-back 3rd down conversions for Southern Miss. Now Willis and Dean in the backfield. Fake to Dean, out to Willis on the screen. Picks up about 5 yards before James Williams, the big free safety, knocks him out of bounds. Look at Williams. That's a linebacker. That's a free safety in a linebacker's body.
Well, it's a linebacker who doesn't know he's a linebacker yet, but James Williams, 6'5", 225 pounds. He was a 5-star recruit. A lot of talked about him last year, and he's improved his game this year, especially with his footwork. Talk to the coaches. He might move closer to the line of scrimmage at some points in this game.
They said he could make a lot of money at some point in time if he does. That play made by Tyreek Stevenson. Talk about transfers, Mark. That kid started his career at Georgia. Now he's looking at maybe an All-American type of season here at Miami.
Just a great trigger, understanding the play and beating the block. Can't play it much better than that. Good tackle. And now it brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. And Southern Miss empties out the backfield.
Gore near side. You see him at the bottom of your screen. Number 3, Stevenson on him. Now he backs off.
And there's 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. No one is over top of them. Let's see if Miami drops back in zone.
Wilkie looking the other way. Now over the middle. Hits Cavallo, was tied in. And again, this team on 3rd down on this drive, Mark, very impressive. They pick it up. That's 3 straight.
Yeah, it's a bust by Miami's defense. There's just no one over the middle. See Corey Flagg drop out of the middle. And right there, number 0, who we were talking about, James Williams, he's got to play that low hook. That's a dime package. He's in there as basically a linebacker. He's got to sink down and cover that over the ball.
Now Gore back in the backfield. Fresh set of downs for the Golden Eagles at midfield. Wilkie to throw again. Miami bringing just 4, and Wilkie has time. Defended very nicely on the play by Williams.
Nice play.
Chandler Pittman out of the backfield. Williams picked him up.
Yeah, nice play. And you see that length and just even the ability to force the quarterback to throw the ball up over top of your 6'5" body. Just no room on the sideline. Really good coverage. Good elevation as well by Williams.
Pittman is 5'9". He just was engulfed by Williams. 2nd and 10. Wilkie to throw again. Overshoots his man Brownlee. That time he tried to go to the 6'3" receiver he has on the outside. Their #1 target, Jason Brownlee, just overshot him.
Yeah, and that'll be a good matchup to watch all game. Brownlee versus Tyreek Stevenson. Stevenson, a bigger one of the corners, 6 foot, 215 pounds. He's a physical guy. You saw him get hands on early. But Brownlee has been a great addition to this team, and they want to get him the ball early in this game. And on 3rd down, again, Southern Miss is going with nobody in the backfield.
12th play of this drive, and they've yet to cross midfield. But they've converted 3 straight 3rd downs. Wilkie, can he do it on his own? He's not even going to be close.
Yeah, but this could be 4-down territory. Seeing what Will Hall wants to do. And he will bring his punt team out.
Miami deep.
Yeah, I think if he gained 5 yards on that and brings up 4th and 5, then maybe you get an opportunity to go for it. But so far in this game, 0-0 play field position.
Stevenson back to receive this punt. This is a good kick by Hunt. Straight up in the air. Can they kill it inside the 5? No, it takes a terrible bounce straight into the end zone, where Miami will now, after the touchback, take over when we come back. Scoreless here in South Florida early.
They can pile up points with anybody. Shipley's loose. Touchdown, Tigers.
Miami gets the ball back for their 2nd offensive possession after a Southern Miss possession that lasted almost 5.5 minutes, but was scoreless. Miami 3 and out on their first possession, hurt by a penalty, but now back at it. You see what they did last week. Mark, you were wondering why Headley didn't punt last week. Here's a big reason. 70 points, almost 600 yards of total offense. Let's see what Miami can do here in their 2nd possession this week.
Up front by Southern Miss, and Southern Miss is going to run 3-3-5 type defense. Austin Armstrong, who's their defensive coordinator, Chris, youngest defensive coordinator in FBS for the 2nd year in a row. He's only 29 years old, which blows my mind. Yeah. But he likes to bring pressure. It's going to be 4 guys coming a lot of times. You don't just necessarily know where that 4th guy is coming from. And good job executing by Southern Miss.
Southern Miss brings 4. Mallory again over the middle, just missed him. Brooks on the coverage for the Eagles, and now another 3rd down and long for Miami.
Yeah, and this ball wants to be caught right on the hash. And that's right where Tyler Van Dyke throws the ball. Sorry, top of the numbers. That's right where Tyler Van Dyke throws the ball. Will Mallory's got to do a good job of just leaning back inside more. But at 3rd and 10, you get Mallory towards the bottom of your screen. Looks like a one-on-one. Open free play.
Yeah, he got him to jump. Van Dyke trying to take advantage. And he hits his receiver at midfield. Wow. Brashard Smith brings it in.
Nice focus by Brashard Smith. And that's the type of confidence throws that you want Tyler Van Dyke throwing. A lot of quarterbacks will get their confidence built by throwing short underneath routes. For Tyler Van Dyke, let him throw the ball deep and over the middle. It's kind of counterintuitive, but let's see if this sparks another one. Good job getting it over the defenders. A little bit lucky, obviously, but had a free play.
30 yards on 3rd and 10. Parrish looking for somewhere to run. Now rolls out of the initial tackle, still falls forward, and picks up a good 7 yards. Kristen Booth on the stop downfield, but Parrish getting a lot of carries both last week and this week. Jalen Knighton shaken up Now, he warmed up before the game last week, didn't play. This week he warmed up as well. We saw him just a few moments ago. Parrish again getting the carry, nothing doing this time, but Knighton is in uniform. Just a little worried about him being banged up and playing, and here he comes just as we say that.
Nice, Chris. See?
Our worries were unfounded.
I like that.
Now he's playing. Keeping in mind, and you and I talked about this off the air, they're traveling to Texas A&M next week.
Yep.
So if you got a guy who's a little banged up, don't you want him to get game time reps this week?
Yeah, you do. You wanted to just feel the speed of the game banged up if you're going to feature him more next week.
Knighton with the carry, bangs it up in there, and it looks like that'll be enough to move the chains.
And you're seeing kind of the difference between last year and this year in terms of the offense. Last year, it was a very fast pace. It was all spread out. It was Tyler Van Dyke throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. With this Josh Gaddis offense, kind of that, Alabama type offense. He came from Michigan last year. You're going to get a lot of that inside power game and then some play action deep balls for Tyler Van Dyke.
Here's play action right here. He's looking deep. Chased.
Good coverage.
He'll get what he can on his feet, and it's maybe 2 yards.
Great coverage from Southern Miss, and you see Tyler Van Dyke, eyes downfield. He does such a good job of maintaining that focus downfield, but there was just relentless effort from the secondary of Southern Miss and nowhere to go with the football.
Knighton still in the game. Now he's going to split to the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield.
Need an adjustment. Southern Miss hasn't bumped over to adjust.
Complete to the 30. It's Keyshawn Smith again. Linebacker Dalen Gill, one of those transfers. Gill came over from Ole Miss, making the stop. But it's downfield enough to make a 3rd and 1 here.
And you saw a little bit of that hurry up where it's not super.
Parrish breaks one tackle, can't break a second, but it's more than enough to move the chains.
And you look at Henry Parrish, 5'10", 190 pounds. Like, that run does not look like a 5'10", 190-pound runner. He runs low, he runs hard, and the thing that impresses me is how he's able to keep momentum going forward even when his shoulders aren't pointing forward. The legs will keep driving, whether he's spinning or jumping. Great job breaking tackles on that play.
Nearby Gould, Florida, transferred in from Ole Miss. Tries to stretch it to the left side. Curls it back in. Give him maybe 5 yards. Long 4.
Great job up front by the left side of that offensive line, and good push. Good job by Parrish. Again, ran into the back of his offensive lineman, but had enough vision to cut back inside. And now he leaves the game, and Jalen Knighton back in the ball game as they will do this. They'll bring number 80 into the game, Elijah Arroyo, as a kind of a fullback blocking back.
He leads the way for Knighton, cuts it back inside. Good run, close to a 1st down.
Chris, for a school that has produced unbelievable tight ends over the years, they have really 3 or 4 guys that are going to have significant impact on this game from the tight end position. You have Elijah Arroyo, who we just talked about in the backfield, Will Mallory, you have Dominic Mamarelli, and you have the true freshman Jaleel Skinner. All of them are going to get reps in different spots.
Arroyo once again in that fullback spot, lead blocker for Knighton. He bounces it outside. May have lost a shoe in the process, but did pick up the 1st down. For the last 2 drives in this game, Southern Miss, lengthy drive in terms of time, not yardage. They only got to midfield, but now Miami in their 2nd offensive possession, working their way down the field and running a lot of clock off.
Thaddius Franklin, number 22, is in the game, and Chris, we saw it before the game, 6 foot, 240 pounds. Yeah. He's built like a linebacker running downhill.
I mean, he looks ridiculous coming off the bus, just a sophomore. Fake to him, now to the outside. Smith. Brooks drives him out of bounds after.
Six checks in the game. Another one of those tight ends we talked about, Dominic Mamarelli, and he is their blocker. He is just a phenomenal blocker. I was so impressed last week watching him get his hands on people and move his feet. So when he's in the game, be alert for run plays in his direction.
Franklin met in the backfield and dropped. Really nice.
And keeps his feet moving forward. You see, offensive lineman trying to get to the next level, but you got to secure your first guy first. Good play by the linebacker. That brings up 3rd and long. Can still get a first down before the goal line.
4 third down conversions on this drive alone from Miami. Can they make it 5? TVD on the roll, now batted down before it can even get to the line of scrimmage. Jaleel Clemens, transfer out of Memphis, making the play.
And he had Will Mallory open on the bootleg. Watch number 85 on the left side of your screen, just sneaks underneath the linebacker, and that's going to be open for that first down. But great job by Jaleel Clemens getting up, and Tyler Van Dyke knows it. He said, I had my guy. He's going to bring on Borregales.
Clemens is also 6'3", and that wingspan just enough. So Andres Borregales, 30 yards. It's good. Miami on the board first.
Yeah, Miami drove down the field, but good stop in the red zone by this Southern Miss defense. And it all came down to this. 3rd down. Get the hands up. Southern Miss.
Blacksburg. That's going to be a good one at 8 o'clock tonight on the ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Here are the 5 teams this week in the AP Top 25 from the ACC. Miami coming in at number 15. Looks like they're going to get a fight today from Southern Miss. Not much on that play, though, for Wilkie. Carries it for maybe a yard on the outside. Miami, Mark, just way too much speed on the perimeter for Wilkie to be able to get the edge.
Yeah, you know, they're trying to run a misdirection, unbalanced line to the right side, a little naked action with Wilkie. Just, it was really good discipline by number 45, Mitchell Agude.
Receiver, it's Brownlee. Stevenson was there on the tackle, limiting the gain, but Brownlee was still able to pick up about 7 yards.
Yeah, and you saw some respect right there from Tyreek Stevenson, the cornerback, giving some cushion to Jason Brownlee, understanding there have been a couple deep shots to him early. 3rd down and 1. Last time we saw that belly G play. Looks like they're going to line up under center again, get back to that. I mean, we haven't seen this.
False start, offense, number 33. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Mark, what's the G stand for? I get the belly part, like, you know, the belly-to-belly series.
Yeah, you get the belly, and then that's, you know, power scream. Then you get the G, where you get the guard pulling sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just letters that mean stuff in football. Like, you skip numbers and the things. You're like, oh, you're in the 1 shade. There's no 2 shade to 2I.
I imagine the G would want to get that belly into the picture too.
And now they're going completely different. Look, it's 5 wide now. Frank Gore Jr. bottom of your screen.
3rd medium, empty backfield. Miami brings 5, but Wilkie has enough time to get rid of it. Going deep for receiver. Covered very well. Now flags come in. I spoke too soon. Corey Couch out of his linebacker spot. I checked that out of the star position. That's that 5th DB. Going to be guilty of the pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Good job by Zach Wilkie, understanding the position that you put the Corey Couch in. You just got to get your head back around. You see, he doesn't allow, he does get his head back around some, but doesn't allow the wide receiver to come back to the ball. And again, that's a mental log that the defensive backs have to have, whether you're on either sideline. They're going to call these tight in terms of pass interferences so far in this game, so you got to play a little bit more cautiously.
Could be the final play of this first quarter. Frank Gore Jr. in the backfield with Wilkie. Quick pass out to the flat. As blockers in front of him, Caston is able to pick up about 5, give him 6. And that will do it for a first quarter that saw some long drives time-wise off the clock for both of these teams, but only 3 points on the board. A Borregales field goal. That's the difference right now. Miami in the sweltering heat of South Florida, up early. But the Golden Eagles from Southern Miss giving them all they can handle. You ready for BC and Vatech at 8? Then after the game, they'll have a full post-game show right here on the ACC network and on the ESPN app. Start of the second quarter. 2nd down and 4 for Southern Miss. Team that lost a 4 overtime game last week to Liberty, longest game in school history. That pass was dangerous. James Williams came over from his free safety spot to defend.
Wow. You know, we talked about Williams playing closer to the line of scrimmage, but you know, that range, he was in the middle of the field on that skinny post. Great job laying out, getting a hand on it. And now 3rd down and 4. You know, that opening drive, Southern Miss converted 3 of those 3rd downs, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 9, and 3rd and 8. So now they're getting back in that empty set, the tight end. See if he chips and goes out. Add a little extra protection for his quarterback.
Miami brings just 4. Wilkie to throw over the middle. Beautiful pass, complete for the first down. That's Frank Gore Jr., who was split at the bottom of your screen as a receiver. He's everywhere all over this field.
Yeah, and just watch how fast you can get inside of Malik Curtis, number 16. And when you're playing a little cover 3, you got to be able to squeeze that down. Need some help from your linebacker as well.
Fake to Curtis. Wilkie up top. Has a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
What a play by Jason. Back-to-back plays, they picked on number 16, Malik Curtis. Little run fake and great job using his body to shield off the defender and come down with the score. That'll get your sideline fired up. Nice play.
Senior receiver's first touchdown of the year for Southern Miss. Low snap. Holder did a nice job of getting it down, and Bourgeois buries it. Watching the Miami Hurricanes getting a game big time out of Southern Miss. They trail 7-3 mark here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, we talked to the coaches for Southern Miss, and we asked them, we said, how do you feel about speed and size and just your personnel compared to Miami's personnel? And they kind of scoffed it. Like, look, we got guys. I mean, we got guys that can play with them. I don't think there's going to be any difference. And you talk about size-wise. I mean, defense, offensive line, they're just match up similarly. Offensive line for Southern Miss might even be bigger.
Now it's Tyler Van Dyke, and even though he was able to move this team down the field on their,
I think that I feel like they've been conservative. Miami has been with their play calls. I want to see more shots downfield.
Parrish going to run it. Looking for an alleyway and couldn't find anything. No gain, maybe a yard.
Today. And you see Southern Miss understanding the blocking schemes, getting downhill. And you're going to need to incorporate some more passes, put TVD ball in his hands.
Pressure coming up the middle. Van Dyke escapes. Restrepo makes the catch and gets hit immediately, but hangs on into Golden Eagle territory, 25 yards.
And great job by the offensive line, giving Tyler Van Dyke enough time to find Restrepo. You see eyes downfield, eyes downfield, eyes downfield. Good job working up in the pocket, even though a little bit way away from his target. You see the arm strength, getting the ability to get the ball out there to his roommate, his #1 guy, Xavier Restrepo.
Harley and others moving on after last year. Restrepo, he had to assume that role as the #1 receiver, oftentimes from the slot, and he's doing it. Pressure up the middle. Van Dyke has a receiver open. It's Arroyo, the tight end. Can't avoid the first tackler. Eric Scott coming up from his corner spot to make the stop, but it's a good pickup on first down, about 5 yards.
You got your tight end, little change up. Had Arroyo in the backfield, sent him out. Good tackle by Eric Scott.
Mallory checks out. Parrish into the second level. What do you got for us, Larisha?
Well, I told you guys earlier about Van Dyke being relatively young. When I talked to him this week, he told me that he's still learning and he's still adjusting, but he has embraced the challenge of learning this new system underneath offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis. And Gaddis agreed. He said, I like and admire the fact that Van Dyke can simply manage whatever is put on his plate. He also loves the fact that Van Dyke has been pushing the guys this week saying, hey, we got to pay attention to details. It's the little things that matter. They do not want to make the same mistakes they made last week in the season opener.
Little thing right here would be picking up the first down, and Knighton does just that. Brought down by Scott after getting the yardage to gain, but they'll move the sticks.
Yeah, and remember, Van Dyke, he played about a half a year of football last year under a different offensive coordinator than he has now. So, he had to kind of learn last year's offense from that background position, then came in and played well. But now this offseason, learning an entirely different offense. And a lot of the problem is forgetting the old offense and terminology. I think he's done well so far this year.
Restrepo makes the catch, slithers through one tackle, can't break the second one. You mentioned the open market was De'Aaron King's offense at the start of the year. Van Dyke comes in, I think the third game of the year, and he never looked back.
Yeah, and really for game 3, 4, 5. Wasn't a ton put on his plate. Then it was, really 6 through 12 where he really lit it up and, played really well. I think those rankings aren't indicative of how well he played just because of the limited season.
Knighton, nowhere to go. Third down and short again.
Good stop by Southern Miss defense. Good pressure off the edge. Austin Armstrong, the DC for Southern Miss, he's so good at timing up his run pressures, right? A lot of times we think about the blitzes as let's sack the quarterback. But Armstrong's going to bring a lot of run pressures in the direction where he thinks the ball is going to go. See if he pressures on third down in a passing situation.
Going to get a timeout called by Will Hall and Southern Miss. Coach Armstrong wants to talk things over. There's a good look at the 29-year-old defensive coordinator. Got a challenge here today, but so far his Golden Eagles are up to it.
To Miami. Defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong is the youngest DC in the FBS for the second straight season. And when I asked him about, that opportunity, what came to mind for him was gratitude. He said when he finished playing college ball, he couldn't find a job. He lived with his parents, but he reflected on his second job in coaching, and that was actually with Coach Hall, who broke the bank for him with just $287 a month as a graduate assistant at West Georgia. And he said you can see further because you stand on the shoulders of giants, and those giants include people like Coach Hall, his family, his parents, and his wife.
$287 in Carrollton, Georgia. That gets you a long way out there, but not that long. Third down. Knighton out of the backfield. Can't handle the pass. Not initially ruled an incomplete pass, and Southern Miss is able to fall on it. Now the officials will obviously get together on this one. Wasn't blown dead initially, and they're going to reward it to Southern Miss as a fumble.
We'll have to take another look at that, obviously, to see where the release point was and the direction the ball was being thrown in. That to me is a forward pass. So
I think that's going to be reversed.
it has to be like backwards. If it's sideways or forwards, it's going to be a forward pass.
And it wasn't corralled before he went out of bounds, before Harrell went out of bounds in the first place.
And they just basically they just said it was a forward pass caught and a fumble.
That can't be the truth.
And there's
well, no. They're going to review this for a lot of different reasons.
Look at that back sweat. Look at that back sweat. Wow. It's hot down there.
So we're going to take a break while the officials sort this out. Was it a completion? Was it an incompletion? Was it a fumble? We'll figure it out when we come back. It brings up 4th down. And it looks like the Canes are going to go for it here on 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, you see, no catch, clearly incomplete. It was reviewed. It was a forward pass, and now, Tyler Van Dyke's back on the field, getting ready to go for it on 4th and 4. It's a big 4th down play.
Empty backfield. Eagles bring 5. Has a receiver intercepted. Forced out of bounds at the 33. Malik Shorts. Mark, that's one of those players that Will Hall said, this guy, one of our safeties, he could line up for any ACC team and fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just a really good job breaking on the ball, but Tyler Van Dyke held the ball a little too long and he missed his receiver. He had Xavier Restrepo on a little option route over the middle of the field and just got locked onto a target. And when you lock on a guy in that type of situation, that results in interceptions.
Southern Miss holds again. Cristobal knows it's all about getting work done here in the first couple of games of the season, and they've got some work to do. Dean tries to bounce it outside. There's absolutely nowhere for him to go. Tyreek Stevenson leading the charge. Larisha, what do you got?
Well, you guys were talking about Malik Shorts being that guy, and when I spoke to him, he definitely knows he is that guy and can be. He said, hey, I'm aggressive when I play, and when I get on that field, I let you know this ain't what you're finna do against me. And if he tries to get close to me, I'm gonna make sure whoever is right there in front of me, he's going down.
Second pick in as many weeks for Shorts. Does Miami in on another drive. Let's see what Southern Miss can do here on 2nd and 10. Wilkie going deep. Receiver well covered, but the receiver goes up to make the catch, and it's a catch.
Wow, what a throw by Wilkie, and a phenomenal catch on the outside by DeMarcus Jones. Wow, and they're going quick to the line of scrimmage, and anytime you get a deep ball, be prepared for run off that. They're going to try to review it to see if it was out of bounds.
The ruling on the field is to complete a catch for a 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
Will Hall wanted nothing to do with that. Look at that headset about to fall off. Completely sweated through that shirt. Hasn't loosened the tie yet, though. Way to go, coach. Way to hang in there. He wanted to go quickly, and they're going to review this catch instead. Let's take a real quick look at it before we go to break. Tough call. 36 yards from Wilkie to Jones, longest play of the game so far. This was great coverage, Mark. Just a beautiful pass and catch, and it was ruled on the field a catch, and it was confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this coverage by DJ Ivey. Just a phenomenal job, but really good route. You see DeMarcus Jones, he left enough space between him and the sideline to have that ball placed in there. And, in the break, you're like, where'd this guy Zach Wilkie come from? I mean, that throw was phenomenal.
I shouldn't say confirmed, I should say stands. That's the official ruling from the official on the play, that it wasn't enough to overturn it. That knee apparently got in, and it's a big play for the Golden Eagles. Fake to Dean. Wilkie has time over the middle, low but complete. Down to the 16-yard line, got flags on the play. Brownlee was able to corral it. Let's check the mark.
Yeah, and the offensive line was about 5 yards downfield.
And they're big.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 60. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yeah, that's
Coker Wright, one of the smaller guys on that offensive line.
Yeah, smaller, right?
Yeah, 290.
290, 6'4". But that's one of the things that happens in the RPO game. When you do have some big offensive linemen, they're told to run block, and he ran block the guy 5 yards downfield. But this is an important series for Miami defensively. Coming off a turnover, trying to limit the amount of points on a sudden change.
1st and 15. Wilkie will throw. Chased out of the pocket and gets sacked.
Nice play.
Just got a piece of him.
Yeah, Jacob Lichtenstein. Good job. You see him right in the middle of the defense. Good job using his hands in that fight. Got a little help pushed in, but that's the type of effort that when the U is there, when Miami's defense is clicking, it's effort plays like that get it done. And that penalty, then the sack. And it's second down and forever for Southern Miss, and good job so far in this drive by Miami defensively.
Gore tries to get some of that yards back, and he gets 5 of it. Corey Flagg brings him down, but this is 3rd and forever.
Tackle by Flagg, and this 3rd down situation too for Southern Miss. You got to make sure you're careful with the football. Obviously 3rd and 19. It's a tough one to pick up. It's possible. Last week, Miami gave up a 3rd and 23 in the first quarter. Felt like they got circled. That was a point of emphasis for Kevin Steele and his defense. Let's see how they do on this drive and this play right here.
Got a kicker with a big leg, but they're not in range yet. So that might be something to consider as well. If you get half of it back, you have a chance for a field goal. Miami brings 4. Wilkie flushed. Try and get there himself and won't even come close. Flagg chased them down out of bounds, and they'll bring up 4th down and long.
Good job defensively by Miami, getting pressure up the middle, forcing the rollout. And then a smart play by Zach Wilkie not to force the throw and create a turnover.
So Southern Miss is going to continue to play the field position game here. They'll bring on their punter, Mason Hunt, looking to pin Miami deep. Stevenson back at his own 10. High punt from Mason Hunt. Checks, but checks too far for Southern Miss. Down to the 23. Not exactly what the Golden Eagles were looking for. A net of 15 yards on that punt. ACC PM is the ACC Network's new afternoon studio show. Mark Packer hosts, along with former Tar Heel Trey Boston and former Seminole Taylor Tenenbaum. They'll focus on football, but they'll also have the latest from around the conference in every sport. That's weekdays at 4 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Millions of years of evolution for the Ibis to be able to deal with the hot temperatures down here in South Florida. Sebastian, that we saw moments ago in the tunnel, taking a load off with a drink. It's got to be brutal on him or her. We're not sure. Flag down on the play on 1st down. Thaddius Franklin, a big back on the carry. Our ACC officiating crew.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 97. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Armandus Cooley, the guilty party, so 15 yards tacked on. That'll be nice for Miami. Get them out of the shadow of their own goalpost a little bit here.
Yeah, watch right at the end of the play. You see the right arm get up there.
Oof. Nothing you can do, right? Just one of those freak things. Just happens every now and then if you're trying to make a tackle.
Yep, good call by the official. And see 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. Side line of scrimmage, kind of that old school set.
Easy pathway to TVD.
Yeah, Radcliffe, good job. He's their nose tackle. And you see him on the loop play. It's just a poor job passing off by the offensive line. Number 70 just does not have eyes in the right spot, and that leaves a wide open guy to your quarterback. And those are the types of negative plays that cannot happen for Miami's offense.
2nd and 16. Give to Parrish. Stiff arms one tackler. Can't avoid the second. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. What's going on, Larisha?
Well, right before the running backs and the offense actually went on the field, running backs coach Kevin Smith had a conversation with his guys and said, hey, you need to stop second guessing yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust your eyes. We are not being ourselves, and it's time for us to play football.
All right, thanks, Larisha. Maybe be a little bit more aggressive from that tailback spot when you get the ball in your hands.
Yeah, and I think they need to show a little bit more patience, too. A lot of times they're getting up in the line of scrimmage before they're able to see the holes. So maybe a little more patience early, but gotta shoot downfield.
Van Dyke under pressure again. He's going to be sacked again.
And that is just not enough time for the quarterback to even find a route downfield. That time it was Bivens coming, and just an absolute bust. I mean, 64, Jalen Rivers blocked nobody. He passed set, a little loop outside, but those are the types of things that did not happen for Miami last week, and they had pretty good pass protection. But today, it has not been the same story. And Mario Cristobal, we've talked about the fact that he's an offensive lineman. He's coached offensive line. That is not going to fly, and that is not going to be good enough to get wins.
Headley's kick end over end. Just dies inside the 25. It'll be touched there. It'll be Southern Miss ball at the 23. Frank Gore Jr. coming off a career game last week in that 4 overtime loss to Liberty. 32 carries, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And in a lot of cases in that game, he was the super back, as he was at the end of last year.
Yeah, and it's not the way that they want this offense to run, right? Will Hall, at Tulane, they like to run the ball, and they can run the ball, but they would rather get the ball in their quarterback's hands and let him distribute it and then add the run game in. I mean, you look at just the numbers, from today, 3 attempts for 6 yards for Frank Gore Jr. It's been a completely different looking offense.
Wilkie keeps. Avoids the first tackler, slides down after a minimal gain.
And we've talked about kind of some of the wow plays from Wilkie, but he's commanded this offense really well. And it does not look like they've limited the playbook for him. He's done the zone read you saw right there, used his legs. He's had some great balls downfield.
It's a true freshman.
Yeah, true freshman.
Mark, Will Hall said last week against Liberty, when they got an injury to their starter, Ty Keys, they thought he wasn't ready to go in yet, so they didn't put him in.
Yeah.
He looks plenty ready to me.
Oh, yeah.
Gore stays on his feet, picks up another 3. Our Aflac trivia question today. Last week, Frank Gore Jr. rushed for over 100 yards for the 6th time in his career. How many 100-plus yard rushing games did Frank Gore Sr. have while he was here at Miami?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know about that, because it seems like it's a question that's, I don't want it to be a trick question.
I feel like you want to be within like 2. You have like a range of like 2 or 3.
I feel like you'd want to say a lot, and maybe it wasn't as many as you think.
I don't know.
But it was a lot. Gore now split wide at the bottom of your screen. Wilkie under pressure. Tries to get it to him, and he makes, he almost made an unbelievable catch. I thought that pass was destined to be intercepted, Mark.
It should have been intercepted. It absolutely should have been interception. And watch Al Blades, number 7. Why are you waiting for the football? You're not going to catch the ball in the breadbasket. You got to go up and attack the football when it's floating up in the air. And that's what, that's what Kevin Steele's saying to him right there. And Ed Reed, right, one of the best defensive players, regardless of position, ever to play, is right there as well. That should have been an interception. And, I know the Miami faithful, they take a lot of pride in their defense, and those are types of plays that needs to change going forward defensively for Miami.
Good punt by Hunt, as it's killed inside the 15, 57 yards. Mason Hunt's been a real weapon for Southern Miss. There's his dad when he was at Miami. NFL history in total rushing yards, 16,000, and he had a lot of success there here in Miami. Sorry, we had to put the BC highlight in that still. It happens.
Didn't really matter who he played.
Correct, everybody.
He's in the building here somewhere, and we talked to some of the coaches, and Frank likes to come to the games and just be a dad. He just wants to watch his son, stay away from the camera, which we totally respect, but he does a lot with his son in the offseason in terms of training together and mentoring him. And it's just got to be frustrating. It just another blown assignment up front, letting a defensive tackle come straight up the middle. Those types of things are what plagued Miami for the past, and those are the things that need to be fixed.
Van Dyke to throw again on 2nd and 10. Now he has time. Restrepo, that's a nice catch. That came on him fast, and he was able to get his hands up and pick up the first down.
Give him time. Give this guy time, and he can throw darts like that. And Restrepo, good job working over the middle. Little move on number 6, got right inside, and Restrepo is so quick, so good in that short area of space. And you see Van Dyke come off that first read, went back to his roommate, number 7, for a completion and a first down.
Knighton on the carry. Cuts it back, middle of the field. Good run on first down. Jalen Williams on the stop for the Eagles.
Best run of the day for these running backs. Was able to use that outside zone, got the stretch, got his shoulders turned towards the sidelines, and then cut upfield when he saw the crease. And one of the things that these running backs, are improving on is reading the hole first and then making the cut. Earlier in the game, as I mentioned, getting up in the line of scrimmage and then trying to find the hole, much better on that play.
Van Dyke to throw. Has time here too. Again over the middle. Receiver goes back to get it. That's Redding. Jay Jones on the coverage, but 17 yards, moves the sticks again.
And this route combo is great. Restrepo, little short route to the outside, and you see the eyes of Van Dyke. They went from Restrepo, which brought the safety over a tiny bit, was able to hit Redding on that seam ball. And these are the downfield throws I'm talking about. Tyler Van Dyke is better when you give him those options, but it comes down to the offensive line giving him time.
He'll throw again on first down. Now he steps up into the pocket, brought down. Thought he had a lane to run, and it closed down quickly. Habas was there on the tackle for the loss. Third sack of the day for Southern Miss. First timeout called by Florida State. Coming up at the Auto Owners halftime report. We're going to be live from Blacksburg. A big game there tonight. Sam Hartman is back. We did Wake Forest last week, and they look pretty good without him, but they're a lot better with him. And now he's going to be back with the Demon Deeks and highlights from around the ACC. So you don't want to miss the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report. That's coming up in about a minute and a half.
You get a good shot there again. Boston Armstrong coaching up his guys, and it's a really kind of fun dynamic when you get a place and have transferred into Southern Miss, and you get that leadership. You don't have to coach them on the little things, and they've responded well.
Speaking of leaders, every coach talks about how Frank Gore Jr. is a leader on this team. He's their leading rusher, 6 100-yard games in his career. How many did his dad have while at Miami? 8, okay.
All right.
He's closing in on his dad's number. Thinking he's probably going to get there at some point. I'm up, but he had to. Big third down here.
Yeah, you got to be aware of when the offense subs and when they don't, because when the offense does sub, the officials will give you time to get another group or player on the field. When they don't, then you obviously have to go with what you have. And I don't mind a timeout in that situation regardless. If you feel like you don't have the right guys in the field on a 3rd and 7 to getting close to the end of the half, you know it's going to be passing situations. Maybe you want to get your rush package in. And this is a big play for both teams. And the real question is, how well can this offensive line protect to give Tyler Van Dyke time to find his receivers downfield?
Final instructions from DC Austin Armstrong. Sends his defense out. Big third down. 3rd down and 7 from midfield. Restrepo in motion.
2 deep safeties, middle of the field could be open. They gave him it.
Flags down. Free play apparently. He's got a receiver open. It's intercepted. Nope, dropped. Might have been academic. We'll check the flag.
Offside, defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So a free play and an opportunity now at 3rd down and about 3rd and 2 mark.
Yeah.
Which changes things a little bit.
It does, and obviously more things in your playbook are open, but you got to be aware of the time. You got 2 timeouts left, so plenty of time. The ball can go anywhere on the field.
Parrish in the backfield with Tyler Van Dyke. They'll give it to Parrish near side. He's got the first down and more. Couldn't break through that last tackle or he might have been gone. Ratcliffe got a handful of jerseys. Still, though, it's 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and you look at personnel, you're trying to look, hey, where's Xavier Restrepo? He's not on the field, so that signaled a run play.
Van Dyke has all kinds of time over the middle. Completes it to Smith. Another first down. Chase Stanley, the safety, on the coverage. Clock at 39 seconds. You see Miami with still 2 timeouts on the board, so plenty of time here, Mark.
Plenty of time. Good protection the last 2 plays from the offensive line.
Van Dyke to throw again. Inside the 5. To the goal line. Can't quite get in. Brinson was right there on the doorstep. Had Scott all over his back, but 17 yards gives him first and goal. And maybe they'll use one of those 2 timeouts. Set up a play to get inside the end zone.
Good protection up front, and good catch. Good job throwing it in front of the receiver. Kind of looked like Eric Scott was a little bit winded on the route, but good job of keeping it out of the end zone. Anytime you can force an extra play, you want to do that defensively, but good job in the 2-minute drill by Tyler Van Dyke, spreading the ball around. Good job by him.
Hey, we've seen some amazing fans across the ACC. Many of them here today braving this heat, but to them it's nothing. It's just another day. Now we need your help. This fall, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic or take a vid, tag it with hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social. You just might see it on the ACC Network. They're in a dogfight today. Parrish on the carry, over the top, touchdown.
And that is a drive that Miami needed to build confidence, to build toughness. And I love the fact they just decided, look, let's run behind this offensive line in order to get in the end zone.
Parrish had 3 last week. Finally puts the Canes in the end zone. 9 offensive touchdowns last week. Their first one this week comes with 20 seconds left to go in the first half.
And even more importantly, gives them a lead going into halftime. Obviously a lot to work on. Being ahead on the scoreboard is always a positive.
Borregales splits the uprights with the try. 10-7 Canes retake the lead.
Good double team in the center of that line of scrimmage. Good job getting up and over.
Jaleel Clemens with a nice job at penetration there too, Mark. It wasn't easy.
No, not easy at all.
Nothing's been easy today for Miami.
Saw the running backs coach there, Kevin Smith, giving a little attaboy to his guy Parrish, and talking to the coach, they say, man, thank goodness Parrish is here. Transferred in, obviously from Ole Miss, and with Jalen Knighton missing most of camp, it really was Henry Parrish. He was really the guy that they had. Thad Franklin played some last week, so did Davon Perry, but Henry Parrish has produced in both the run game and the pass game the past 2 weeks.
So in all likelihood, Southern Miss will take a knee here with just 20 seconds left to go in this first half. They will get the second half kick. Harrell will see what he can do, and why not? Eludes a couple of tacklers, gets it to the 20, but Laundry on the field.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 85. At the distance to the goal.
So Wilkie will take this snap. Kind of 14 for 120 yards mark, a touchdown, no picks. He's also this team's leading rusher, although he has 11 yards. I'm sure that's not what Coach Hall was looking for in running the football, but I'm sure he'll take a 3.
This week, basically all run last week, and you've been throwing it through the air and yard touchdown run. So let's see if Miami.
Tyler Van Dyke, what he was able to do in that first half. Borregales to kick off here to start the second. And it goes through the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Southern Miss. And for Zach Wilkie, a quarterback who had a heck of a first half himself, his first career start, his first career action for the true freshman.
Yeah, just, great job of settling into the offense. Good job by Sam Gregg, the offensive coordinator, calling plays that, weren't limiting his quarterback. This is a team we talked about in the first half. They have so many different styles of offense that they can bring, and they roll.
Wilkie to throw on first down. Didn't have anybody open, so he's going to try and run for it. Picks up about 3.
Good coverage by Miami defensively, and good reaction by the linebackers, containing the quarterback run. They had trouble with that last week. A couple of the big runs that they did give up last week were quarterback scrambles late. Good job by Flagg on that play, containing Zach Wilkie.
Wilkie to throw again, looking for Gore out of the backfield. Hits him, but the defense is there to drop him for a loss. Ivy again from that cornerback spot.
Good start for senior. Who knows how many years he's been here with COVID and redshirting everything, but great tackle. And now it's 3rd and 11.
Miami brings just 4, but they get pressure on Wilkie. He has room to run, though. Can he get to the sticks? I think he's going to be just shy. It's going to be a yard shy.
And a little bit of a preservation play by Wilkie. I mean, he saw Al Blades coming in. Then go 1 more yard. That's a 3rd down where you want your quarterback to dive, but good job by Miami defensively.
Mason Hunt had a good first half. This is a good kick, too. Stevenson makes the catch. He's going to make something out of it. Didn't call the fair catch. Was able to get out at about the 23-yard line. That's where Miami will take over, down to Larisha Harris.
I caught up with Coach Hall at and his accuracy also in the first half, but he wanted them to be more aggressive in the running game. He said his message to his players was simply, hey, we can do this. We just have to get it done right now. Carter?
All right, thank you, Larisha. Mario Cristobal's Miami Hurricanes, their first offensive possession in this second half after a 3 and out. behind Van Dyke. Parrish.
Extra offensive lineman. Looks like, again, we're limited a little bit in the booth. We have a very large human being wearing a number 37 who's lined up at tight end, but it looks like it's like a throw-over jersey, but he brought it in the left side of the line. He's moving people. Look at him.
Paving the way for Parrish. That's unacceptable for Cristobal in this new offense. Josh Gaddis brings with him from Michigan.
Yeah, and they want to rely on the run game. They want to be able to bully guys up front and get pushback. And you heard Cristobal going off the field at halftime, almost challenging his offensive line. Look, we need.
Able to bring it down and get it to Parrish for 3. Now the big back Thaddius Franklin comes in, sophomore from West Park, Florida. 6 feet, 240 pounds. There you see him on the right. Looks the part for sure.
Mallory off the ball.
There's that big back. Lowers his shoulder pads. Picks up the first down.
Will Mallory trying to lead block around. Run blocking isn't necessarily Will Mallory's strong suit, but watch number 85 try to get up there, and back just said, get out of my way. I'm going to run over dudes myself. But good job running again, picking up another first down, staying on the ground.
On play action, Van Dyke flushed out of the pocket. That's Franklin.
It's kind of that methodic drive downfield, building confidence in the offensive line, play action pass, hit that check down. And again, these kind of lulling the defense to sleep, and there'll be a deep pass eventually.
A lot of room to run, though, for Franklin. Another first down.
Good push up front. See last week, that is Franklin's numbers.
Parrish, Knighton, and Franklin, 3 different to the table. Franklin. Danson trying to find the hole, gets 2.
And now you see some changes in terms of personnel for Miami, bringing the big back off the field, bringing the tight ends off the field, and you bring in some of the pass catchers in Restrepo and Michael Redding.
Split Parrish up to the top of your screen, too. Pressure comes from the Eagles. Restrepo wide open, goes up to make the catch and stays on his feet. Still on his feet, first down and more.
And that's why Xavier Restrepo was the main target. Percent of their wide receiver production is gone from last year. And Restrepo, who's a true freshman last year, has stepped up huge in the offseason. You see that on that last play. His tenacity.
Parrish inside the 20. Took free safety Jay Jones to bring him down, but to the second half.
No.
Fake to Parrish. Now Van Dyke rolls. Had 2 men open. Flag down on the play. Looks like he had Arroyo open up top and Keyshawn underneath. It's Keyshawn Smith. Let's check the marker.
And watch the crossing route, the action of the linebacker side. He's got two guys, number 5, number 80, both wide open.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 74. 15-yard penalty, third down.
John Campbell, 5th-year junior. It's not something you would expect away from the play.
No,
and it's costly.
John Campbell, he's playing that left tackle position. Zion Nelson, who was slotted to be that starter coming into the season, he was hurt most of camp. And so they're going to work him back in, but John Campbell had an impressive camp, great showing, good game last week as well. A little bit too much on that play, and when you have a series, a drive that's on the ground, you're pounding, you're picking up 3-4 yards, that's great. However, a penalty like that can really just completely change the play calling for an OC.
2nd and 17 now. Van Dyke to throw, pressure up the middle.
I love the play call. I love the screen pass on 2nd and long. It's a high percentage play. You get your offensive lineman out in front. It just made a good move. Got his foot in the ground, picked up an extra few yards, and now it's third and manageable. You can make a 3rd and 5 play. Restrepo in the slot. Got to watch where he goes. Southern Miss showing pressure.
Give to Parrish. A lot of room to run. Inside the 10, down to the 9. 2nd down and 17. No problem for this Hurricane offense right now.
Taking that first half a little personally. They come out here, a couple really good blocks on that play. And you're seeing more gap scheme runs with pullers getting around out in front of the running backs.
Canes have 13 first downs in this game. 5 of them have been on this drive. Franklin pulls his way forward for a yard. Give him 2. 2nd down and goal.
Unbalanced set for Van Dyke now. He's got his 2 tight ends over the right-hand side, all 4 receivers over there. When you have an former offensive lineman as your head coach, that's a way to make an impact early in this half. Give the ball to our backs, let our big guys go up front. Good double team up front. Good job of getting to the next level. And then Franklin using that big body to score and get in the end zone. 13 plays, 77 yards with 6 minutes off the clock. That is a big boy drive by this Miami offense.
2nd touchdown drive of the game. It lasted 6+ minutes. Could come at a better time for the Canes. Struggling offensively in that first half. They take their first second half offensive possession and drive it. Offensive lineman is their head coach. Franklin finished.
They can pile up points with anybody. Shipley's loose. Touchdown, Tigers.
Canes by 10. Let's take a look at our marathon drive recap. That first score mark from this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it was all on the ground. 13-play touchdown drive. 10 of those plays were runs. Tyler Van Dyke was 3 for 3 in the air on that. He's now completed 8 straight. The last 5 of the first half, first 3 of the second half, and Miami is playing some big boy offense right now.
$10 points, largest lead of the day for this Canes team. Don't forget the rest of our schedule today. Coming up at 3:30, Furman and Death Valley taking on number 5 Clemson. West, Roddy, Taylor, they'll be there. Western Carolina, Georgia Tech on the ACC Network Extra. That's at 7 o'clock. Then our ACC Network primetime matchup. BC squares off against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg at 8 o'clock. Both those teams, disappointing starts to their year. Big game for both those clubs.
Yeah, it really is. It's a big drive for Southern Miss. After giving up that 2-minute drive touchdown and then a touchdown on the opening drive for Miami, it's important that they move the ball down the field and get on the board.
That's not going to help. Frank Gore Jr. was dropped by Leonard Taylor.
That's the first time we've called Leonard Taylor's name, but it shouldn't be. This guy, 56, really good job of getting off the ball. And when he has that drive, right, when he does feel confident in his play, he's remarkable. But the coaching point for him is do it every play. You got to have that same aggression every single time on the field.
Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. Wilkie to throw. Miami brings just 4, but they get pressure on him, and Taylor again.
And there it is, right? He got double teamed on that play. 2 offensive linemen were on him. He was aided by a really good outside rush. You see on the left-hand side, forced the quarterback to get upfield, but continuing to pursue upfield. Leonard Taylor, 2 TFLs in back-to-back plays. And now is, you know, this is a tough situation for Southern Miss to be in. And you got to imagine Miami's going to be hell-bent to get the quarterback.
Pass complete over the middle, gang tackled by a whole gaggle of orange shirts, led by Keyshawn Smith in that middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, you talk about yeah, that was a gang. There were 11 orange jerseys near the football. That's something I did not see last week. There were guys who, you know, quite honestly, it's a cardinal sin in football, especially defensively, lopes. Lopes mean like you have a change of pace in your run. You're not sprinting to the football, and it cost them a little bit last week. There were no lopes on that last play. Every one of those orange jerseys around the football.
The Southern Miss offense is now stalled out. 2 consecutive 3-and-outs to start this second half. Stevenson.
Oh,
bangs off a tackler to midfield and beyond. Inside the 40, dragged out of bounds at the 35.
You got to see that one again. I mean, this is a defensive back, 6 foot, 214 pounds. Good job of fielding the bounce, and then boom. That's a physical run. That is a physical run by Stevenson. Big defensive plays, good drive by the offense the first time out, couple that with the special teams play. And right now it looks like a different team than we saw in the first half out of Miami.
Stevenson 30 yards on the return after a 41-yard kick. Miami back in business. 69 yards on the ground on their last drive after just over 50 in the entire first half. Little razzle dazzle here, flea flicker. Got Keyshawn, touchdown.
Well, there it is. Lull him to sleep with the inside run, and then the flea flicker. Perfectly executed, perfectly placed football by Tyler Van Dyke. And a really good catch on the outside by his wide receiver. Watch here. Watch the defensive back's eyes. Oh, got lulled to sleep. Safety bit up. Corner lost his guy. Perfect throw. Touchdown, Miami.
Borregales with the PAT. 2 offensive drives, 2 touchdowns in the second half. 2 defensive drives, 2 3-and-outs on both sides of the football. Canes tail 2. The latest, Keyshawn Smith's first touchdown of the year. It's 24-7, Mark.
Yeah, watch here. You get the safety right around the 25-yard line. Watch right here. He bites down because there were 10 run plays last drive. Let me think run. The pitch back to Tyler Van Dyke and wide open behind the defense. Keyshawn Smith makes a great catch. And this is complimentary play call. Josh Gaddis understands we ran the ball. They need to stop the run. Okay, how do we make something look like we did last drive and then break a big one? Flea flicker was the answer, and great execution by Tyler Van Dyke and Keyshawn Smith.
to return. He lets it sail over his head. .6:30 tonight, the ACC Huddle crew back at it. They got highlights and breakdowns of all the early games. And they'll get you ready for BC and Virginia Tech at 8 o'clock. Then after the game, late night, they'll have a full post-game show right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. A lot of good looking on that screen. Oh, on the lower left, that is.
There you go. Good catch.
Those dudes. Looking forward to seeing them. Looking forward to seeing what Southern Miss can do here. Gore and Pittman in the backfield now with Wilkie. They have stalled out since the first half. Wilkie to throw, pressure off the edge. Incomplete. Try to hit Pittman out of the backfield, and now, much like we saw with TVD in the first half, he didn't have time to throw. Now Wilkie has no time to throw.
No, Elijah Roberts was the guy this time, number 99. Another one of the guys from Miami. True sophomore, good pressure. And again, when Miami defenses are great, their defensive line, they control games. And they got to get in the backfield, create those negative plays. And it just allows the cover guys to cover and not have to stick on the receivers for too long.
Now they'll run it. Pittman.
Nice play by Corey Flagg. Thank you. Corey Flagg, number 11. I've been waiting for him to come downhill all game. He's in the right spot, but a lot of times he'll chop his feet and not attack the football. Right here, boom, he could have chopped his feet more, but he got downhill, and that results in a negative play rather than a 2-yard gain. That's the next step for Corey Flagg and this linebacker group, getting downhill and making plays. Now 3rd down and 11 for Zach Wilkie.
If you're Kevin Steele, you send in the house here. They bring pressure up the middle, forcing Wilkie out. Gets rid of it. Nice pitch and catch. Finding Brownlee, his top receiver. Nice poise by Wilkie after the onslaught chasing him.
Great poise, but you got to get contained. 95 loses contain on the left-hand side. Good job by Wilkie getting outside, getting that completion to Brownlee. Move the sticks.
Wilkie to throw. Steps up. As a receiver, that's Caston. Here, another 1st down.
I mean, heads-up play by Wilkie, understanding where the line of scrimmage is. Kind of cut that scramble. Good completion. We have a Southern Miss player down.
Offensive lineman will get a name when we come back.
We saw a totally different defense, and one of the players, Leonard Taylor, he came out emphasizing that aggression and that physicality that this entire team has been putting forth this week. We also saw Tariq Stevenson hyping up everybody, letting everyone know, hey, it's time to go. It's time to close this thing out and get the job done. Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Larisha. They have been going this quarter, that's for sure. Dominating performance after a lackluster first half. Has them in control. Now fresh set of downs for Wilkie, who's going up top. Trying to get it to Brownlee in a lot of traffic. He goes up and high points it, though. 1st down inside the 20. This kid's a pretty darn good receiver. He's got the body mark. He's 6'3", 202, but he knows how to go up and get it.
Yeah, 6'3", 202 means a lot, but when you can have a vertical like that, and look at Wilkie, I mean, he just stays there in the pocket, took a hit, and that, close to being late, but that's just not good enough, quite honestly, by Darryl Porter on the outside at defensive back. I mean, you gotta either get a body or get hands on the ball. Phenomenal job by Brownlee. You see Will Hall on the sideline losing his mind for some reason.
He is animated. He's all the way at the hash mark almost.
That is great elevation. And with 2 guys out there.
You think Hall wants one of the targeting maybe on that hit? Maybe we can take another look at the hit on Wilkie. This is unbelievable. I'm not saying you hate to compare him to anything, but that's what Calvin Johnson used to do. He used to just go up ahead of everybody and pull the ball away. It was his ball. Yeah,
and just an asset, right? Last week they didn't have him because they didn't have a quarterback to get him the ball. And this week, when you get in a situation where you're under pressure or where you need a long ball, being able to throw it up to a guy like that turns 50-50 balls into 80-20 balls, you either get the catch or you get a PI. And It's had a phenomenal game.
Larisha, what's going on the sideline?
Well, you guys were talking about how animated Coach Hall is. Well, hey, like father, like son. His dad, Bobby, is actually the second winningest high school football coach in Mississippi's history. So Coach Hall grew up a football junkie, and he was attached to his dad's hip for about 18 of his dad's 40 years in coaching. So I'm pretty sure he might have gotten that animation from his dad.
Might have gotten the dress code from his dad, too. I've said it before. I like it, the tie. Now Wilkie, blockers in front, big blockers in front inside the 10. Lowers his shoulder, gets down inside the 6 to about the 5. James Williams making the stop. 11 yards on the carry. This is an inspired drive by Southern Miss.
It is. And an answer, right? It's an answer shown. Look, this first half wasn't a fluke. Like, we can play with you, and Wilkie is taking a lot on his shoulders here.
1st and goal. Low snap. Tries to get it to Brownlee. That's a tough play, and it's picked off. That time Stevenson wasn't going to be denied.
He hasn't been tackled. Go, run down the field, score a touchdown.
Now they blow it dead. They blow it dead, though.
Oh, my. It really did not look.
Stevenson's going to take it all the way anyways. They blew it dead behind the play.
And it would be interesting to see if he was down or if he stepped out of bounds. Like, everyone stopped on the play.
Jerry Magallanes, our referee in this ACC crew. Let's hear from him.
So the coach is on the sideline, all signaling touchdown.
Cristobal wants an explanation. He feels like it should have been play on.
The ruling on the field is an interception. The player gave himself up in the end zone. It's a touchback. First down, Miami.
They're saying he gave himself up, and so that, that's on Tyreek Stevenson. He wasn't down by contact. He didn't step out of bounds.
Wilkie getting a little greedy here.
And where let's see. I mean, he right there is, again, that there is nothing signaling that he's down. He's inbounds. He doesn't take a knee. That line judge you see there, he blows the whistle as that kind of false step occurred, but that to me, that's not indicating a knee. And I know there was a lot talked about last year with fake slides and all that stuff and giving yourself up, but really just interesting play.
Change of possession. Now a chance for Redding. In open space.
Nice
Gets
block.
a nice block downfield.
And
he steps out of bounds.
Xavier Restrepo with a phenomenal block. Watch Restrepo. Let's see if we can see that here. With number 7, here he comes. Boom. Good block. Knocked this guy off the feet.
Michael Redding with some nice yak yards after the catch. 20 yards on the pitch and catch. Final 2 minutes of this third quarter. A quarter owned by Miami. Parrish just lowers his shoulder and picks up 3 hard yards. Parrish is only listed as 190 pounds, Mark, but he can deliver some blows. He can take some hits.
Yeah, he can run between the tackles. Good job of running behind his pads. Gets low to the ground. He's been a good player for Miami.
That's something Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator, talked about too. They want to be a downhill running team. Now Parrish out of the backfield. Good catch. Has a lot of blocking in front of him. Inside is Southern Miss territory.
Yeah, and it was a holding call. Will Mallory right at the point of the attack, got an extra hold.
Holding, offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
There's a lot of things good about Will Mallory in the pass game, and he tends to lean a little bit when he is blocking. Got tangled up with a defender there. And that holding play, yes, it brings the yardage back, but it gives the Southern Miss defense an opportunity to catch its breath.
Second and about 15. Van Dyke to throw. Has a clean pocket. Has a receiver. Couldn't hit Keyshawn Smith, though, as he lost his footing coming out of his break.
Yeah, and Van Dyke knows it. He missed that one. Keyshawn Smith loses his footing a little bit at the end, but watch Van Dyke throw a little bit low. Van Dyke knows it. Brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 15.
That broke a string of 11 straight completions from Van Dyke, most of which here in the second half. Now Mallory near side in the slot.
Southern Miss shows pressure. Looks like they're staying with it.
They come with 5 up the middle. Van Dyke flustered out. Franklin.
Good tackle.
That was
Dominic
Keywan. Yep.
They bring Keywan in for a lot of the pass rush stuff. Called his number to drop back in coverage there. Good job tackle, and it's a really good job by Southern Miss defensively. After, I mean, you think about that interception, right? Tyreek Stevens should have gotten 7 points on the board. However, he was not aware of the situation, gave himself up, and now Southern Miss gets the ball back. Good job defensively on the sudden change.
Brooks calls a fair catch at his own 12. And that's where Southern Miss will take over after a 43-yard punt. Lou Headley, Lamar, our ACC headlines. A couple of disappointing losses in week 1, I would say, at a conference mark. But other than that, solid for the ACC. Dabo, I mean, when you win national titles, you get paid. And then Tennessee and Pitt, that's a big one coming up this afternoon. Oh, just about an hour's time on ABC.
Yeah, and last week that Pitt game, one of the games of the week, really, watching that West Virginia game come down to the line. Heinz Field was jumping.
No question. Two teams that had those disappointing out-of-conference losses. Virginia Tech and Boston College going at it tonight. Blacksburg.
Full start, offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That game, the ACC primetime game. This is not what Southern Miss needs right here to be backed up. It's going to be difficult enough.
Offensively, got to have poise right now in this situation, and defensively for Miami, you can't have a bust, right? Last week they had certain busting situations which allowed teams to get back in it.
Wilkie, it's his tight end. Able to pick up good yards. That's Cole Cavallo. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. Quarter dominated by the Canes. We head to the final stanza here in South Florida, 24/7 Miami.
Every day can be a better day despite the challenge.
Packers got involved. You see Flag with a nice TFL, and then the defensive backfield. Tyreek Stevenson with his great interception. Now, it could have been a pick 6. That's a different story, but that defense is looking to build on their success from the third quarter here to start the fourth.
Wilkie to throw. That should have been picked off. Wesley Bassane had it in his hands, couldn't corral it.
Yeah, and talking to the coaches, he's a true freshman out of Miami, Florida. So watch out for that guy. He's going to be a player one day, and in the right spot, got to come down with that football. But another big play by Miami's defense, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long once again for Southern Miss. And if I'm Miami defensively, I'm finding where Jason Brownlee is on the field.
Wilkie trying to go up top, defended perfectly. Jacarius Caston was the intended receiver to Corey Couch from that star position all over him.
Yeah, really good coverage by Couch. And good job looking back to the football. Saw earlier in the game he got called on a PI. That one, really good coverage, got his head turned around and played that inside fade perfectly. A good stop Miami's defense, once again, got the ball back to their offense.
Restrepo getting involved now on special teams, back to return this punt. Good kick, forcing the fair catch. Restrepo makes it at his 41. After Mason Hunt's 46-yard boot. Beautiful spot down here in South Florida. 24-7 our score in the fourth. End around. Smith. Good individual effort. Picks up 5 yards. It's a lot of running to pick up 5, maybe 6. Rashard Smith.
Used him like that a lot last year. Has that kind of running back skill set where you can get the ball on a quick flip or reverse, pick up some good yards.
Player down, looks like Southern Miss player. I think Malik Shorts. That's who it is. One of their safeties. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here at Hard Rock Stadium. Good to see Shorts getting up.
Welcome to Subway's Big.
It's always the neck. You know, the neck is the telltale sign. Larisha's on the sideline with more.
Well, guys, Coach told us the story that in the days of Michael Irvin, Jerome Brown, and Winston Moss, Green Tree practice field was sacred ground. He said that he would come over on bike or on foot to witness what was better than any game he saw on Saturday. And that level of competitiveness is what drew him to Miami. He fell in love with it, and that's what he's looking to establish.
Yeah, you know, Larisha, they talk about it, and Josh Gad has talked about it as well, how practice is now so intense. And Cristobal, obviously they weren't here last year, but they talk about how that's what they want. They want that intensity and the competition in practice to spill over here in the game.
Yeah, and you know, I played with a bunch of those guys who were on, you know, the team Antro Roll and Kenny Phillips and John Beeson, those guys all, you know, when I was with the New York Giants, and they talked about that practice and just the competition level that they had. It was, the competition was so great that they were never surprised in the game. Games were obviously still hard because games are supposed to be hard, but they never were surprised by the effort from another team or the talent level from another team, because on that practice field, you gave it all. You gave absolutely everything you had, and it paid dividends, and that's what allowed them to win championships and be successful.
You know, Josh Gaddis too, talking about how he went out there to practice one day. It was like, who was that guy out there participating in drills? And it was Warren Sapp out there just running with the team, being a part of it.
Yeah, when you have Warren Sapp on the field, you just allow him to be there. You don't escort him off.
When he wants to run with the club and participate, get physical with the guys. First down, moves the chains for the Canes. You see the Legends camp, Kenny Phillips, Jeremy Shockey. This was all this past summer. Greg Rousseau, John Beeson, and we just saw here, he paid us a visit in the booth, Deion Bush, Dwayne Starks, and then Michael Irvin finishing it off. When those guys come by to talk to you, you listen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's funny, you know, we were talking to Kevin Steele a little bit too, and it's like, yo, how great is it to see those guys? He's like, yo, look, a lot of times when these guys played, like, some of these players on the field weren't even born yet, so they might not have seen them play the game, but there's still that respect and that aura around those legends coming back.
Yeah, right. The legacy lives on, Larisha.
Yeah, and another story Coach Cristobal told us is that during his time here at Miami, he remembered being in his apartment, which was Building 36. He said, you know, this was before cell phones. They had the phone in the apartment. He got a call, and on the other end, it was a guy saying, do you know who this is? This is the playmaker. And it was Michael Irvin basically telling him, like, if you live in this apartment, you better understand the standard that you have to put forth.
Not only if you play at Miami, but if you live in the apartment that I lived in, that's how important that was. Flag against the Canes will move him back 5.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I think one of the things about the Miami alumni is they are, I mean, they take pride in Miami, and it's hard. Like, they're hard on the players in terms of representing the U. However, once a player, you know, shows that I'm dedicated, they bring them in, right? You know, they're tough on you, but they'll bring you in, put an arm around you, and really invite you into that group of Miami legends, and that is a phenomenal group.
Parrish stays on his feet inside the 10, cuts it back into the end zone and scores.
Tell you what, there's some Miami running backs that might give that guy a call tonight and say, you put your heart out there, young man. And Henry Parrish has had a really phenomenal game.
And a big-time start to his Miami career, the transfer from Ole Miss. 2 big games.
You know, we were hard on the offensive line in the first half, but compliments to them by stepping up in the second half, getting the run block going, protecting their quarterback. See what the flag is.
They get a personal foul here at the end of this play. Might go against the Canes too. Let's see though. As you can see, Cristobal trying to get an explanation on things. I don't know if he necessarily agrees with the call. Officials are really sorting this out. I think they're trying to figure out whether it was during the play or not, Mark.
There's a lot of stuff happening on the field.
There's a lot of sorting out.
53 is
pleading his case.
That looks like a guilty man.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 53, blocking a player out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Was during the play. It's not a dead ball foul. So Ja'Kai Clark.
Let's see. Okay, 53, great block. Great block. And right there, again, you know, it's the type of thing as a coach, we called that DOS, drive off screen. When they're watching game film, they're not going to see the end of that because he drove him off the screen. However, once you get your feet in the white, basically they call it 4 feet in the white. If all 4 feet, the guy you're blocking and your feet are in the white, you got to let go and stop blocking. So it's a good call. Again, it's one of those ones, it's an effort play, but nonetheless, it takes that touchdown off the board.
It moves him way back. Fans here at Hard Rock clearly displeased.
And you see that a lot of times in special teams plays, you know, with a punt or something, and the outside guys are blocking each other and getting
now,
a little chippy.
What are they reviewing?
They might be looking to see if the touchdown occurred before the flag, where it was an after the play. So clearly, no. You know, they might have gotten that last little shove at the end was where the actual foul took place, but and you know, I don't think you can judge it by when the flag leaves the pocket.
A member of our crew might have gotten hammered over there on the sideline too.
Yeah, and
somebody's crew.
And you can't, you know, where the line judge throws the flag at that moment, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's when the penalty takes place. It could have taken place before that, and he, you know, reached in and threw it. So they'll make a decision pretty quickly on this one.
That's relative. Our replay official Keith Roden helping Jerry Magdalenas out. Let's get the call.
Second down.
Well, there we go.
Okay. That's where I thought we were before, but maybe just confirmation. Cristobal saying it's all good. Let's just get back and play. Second down. Now it's 16 yards to go. Redding in motion. Van Dyke over the middle. Restrepo makes the catch. About 2-3 yards shy of the first down. It'll bring up third down.
Really wide open play, and not the greatest pass by Tyler Van Dyke. You see number 7 wide open. You want to see that ball a little bit higher, a little bit out in front. Picked up a good chunk, but if you put that in front of your wide receiver, that could be, you know, probably a first down and could be more.
Big back Franklin behind Tyler Van Dyke. Gets the call. Sneaks inside the 20. First down.
Yeah, it's impressive what they've built from that running back position, because, you know, coming into the year, you know, with not a ton of experience. Jalen Knighton, a true sophomore. You know, Thad Franklin, a true sophomore. Obviously, they brought in Henry Parrish, and all of them have been really running well in the first 2 games.
Franklin stopped for a gain of a couple. Look at the shadows on the field. Miami is near side to us in terms of their sideline.
Yep.
And then Southern Miss is on the far side, and they have been staring into this hot sun all day long. You got to think that has some type of an impact here in the 4th quarter.
It's a distinct advantage, and you know, it shows up, especially in the trenches, when those big boys get that reprieve when you go to the sideline in the shade. Reverse going on the far sideline where you're just, you know, you're baking in the sun.
Take a look at that. That's stark, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, the boys from Hattiesburg, they're used to playing in the heat anyways and the humidity.
Right.
But in this particular case, I mean, look at Will Hall. He has just been baking over there all day. Still has yet to loosen the tie.
Nope.
Way to go, coach. Miami's run 23 more plays, too, to your point about the big guys up front defensively.
Yeah.
Van Dyke to throw. Has all kinds of time. Into the end zone.
Wow.
Just may have been deflected right before it got to the receiver. Dalen Gill looked like he got a hand up.
Yeah, great drop by Dalen Gill from that middle linebacker spot. Kind of a cover 2 defense. Watch him. It's called a middle read. He looks to his left first, no threat. Then he turns back to the right. That is a phenomenal play by a linebacker. And yeah, it's really a poor throw by Tyler Van Dyke, putting the ball in that traffic. Lucky it didn't get intercepted.
33-yard attempt for Borregales. Following in his older brother's footsteps, who won the Groza a couple of years ago. Now Borregales, a sophomore. High snap. Headley was able to get it down. Borregales is true. Hurricanes increase their lead, 27-7 here in the 4th. So in this contest, Miami on top of Southern Miss. Canes looking to go 2-0 and look forward to a big-time showdown with Texas A&M in College Station next Saturday.
Yeah, for you Miami fans that want to see what they're about to face, Texas A&M ranked number 6. They're playing Appalachian State on ESPN2 at 3:30. So
right, and don't forget Appalachian State scored 40 points in the 4th quarter against North Carolina last week. Now I know North Carolina's got some work to do, but that's a team that can put some points on the board. Speaking of later on today, 3:30, Furman. They're in Death Valley. That's a short bus ride from their hometown, taking on number 5 Clemson. Wes Roddy Taylor going to be on hand. Western Carolina and Georgia Tech on ACC Network Extra at 7 o'clock. Then our primetime matchup on the ACC Network. BC squaring off against Virginia Tech in Blacksburg at 8 o'clock. All those games can be seen streaming on the ESPN app as well. Definitely a tale of 2 halves here. Miami coming out slow to open the game. Southern Miss behind Zach Wilkie played really well, but Miami has taken control here in the 2nd half. Wilkie hits a receiver at the 40. That's going to be a first down for the Golden Eagles. Brownlee again. He's something else.
he is a really good player for Southern Miss. Been impressed with his route running. You see him catch some balls over the middle. Got some swing passes thrown to him. Obviously, we've seen him have some jump balls in the sideline. They got a lot going on to build with Zach Wilkie as well.
Brownlee 5 catches, 102 yards and a touchdown. Frank Gore Jr. bottled up in the backfield. He'll be dropped for a loss. Jordan Miller there on the stop, and it's been tough sledding for Frank Gore Jr., who went to high school at Killian. That's about 7 miles to the southwest of Coral Gables. His dad, of course, went to Coral Gables High School.
Yep.
Played his college football right here at Miami. So a little bit of a homecoming, not a little bit, a big-time homecoming for Frank Gore Jr., just not the day he envisioned or hoped for. 6 yards on 6 carries.
Oh.
Wilkie got Miami to jump. It'll be a free play, but they won't be able to do anything with it.
Offside, defense number 32, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Nigel Kelly, the guilty party, freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Cristobal going on, looking at his bench, getting some players some playing time this week.
See some new guys in there, but you see 56. Leonard Taylor still in there. I think, you know, it's part of the coaching. You want him to play in the heat, want him to play a full game. Remember, only a sophomore. A lot, you know, 5-star guy, a lot of high hopes, played well, but there's a grind your first couple of years in college football.
Lost some weight too. You could see why you would be able to do that in this heat. Look at Gore. Look at that run. Flags down, which may take this one back, but can't take anything away from the heart that kid showed on that run. 14 yards.
That looked a little like his dad, bouncing off people.
Holding, offense, number 1, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, how do you not lose weight practicing in this summer heat? I know it's not like back when you were playing and it was 2-a-days, but still, you're out there every day. You got to you have to lose weight if you're 300 plus.
And it's just, it's hard to keep your weight on, even if you're not trying to lose weight. That's where the nutrition staffs come in and, you know, force feed some of these guys, you know, especially the big guys. I mean, when you look at a lot of these teams will weigh their players before and after each practice during training camp, because it's so important to understand how much fluids are lost. And just even replenishing the fluids. I mean, I got to imagine some of these offensive linemen are losing 10 pounds of practice. And so you're filling your body with liquids and water and Gatorade, and then, I mean, your stomach's full, so you got to force food down there as well.
I mean, if Tykeem Doss, the left tackle for Southern Miss, lost 10 pounds in practice, that would be like throwing a deck chair off the Titanic.
Yeah, it'd be like nothing. 370 pounds down to 360 pounds.
6'5", 373. I mean, they're starting offensive linemen 373, 339, 317, 329, and Paul Gaynor is 290. He needs to get some weight gainer. 290, guy's skinny. Wilkie up top. Good coverage. Falls incomplete. There was no way that one was going to be complete. DJ Ivey all over the receiver. He jammed a finger in that one too.
Yep, good coverage, but this might be the fourth time that a ball should have been intercepted by the Miami defense that wasn't. And so, you know, these are good plays, but again, when you're facing a team like Texas A&M next week, those have to come down as interceptions. I'm sure they'll be hitting the jugs, catching passes in practice this week.
Trail Jones did a good job on that play to defend on the play. Wilkie carries himself, fumbles the football. Well, it was a play later, but Miami did get it back.
All right, Chris. We talked about James Williams, the linebacker. The safety. Maybe he could play linebacker. Watch him, number 0 in the middle of the field. That's a linebacker. Watch him shuffle. Watch him get downhill, scrape, make a tackle, get the ball out. That, when you're looking at the ability to make plays, getting James Williams closer to the line of scrimmage, it's going to pay dividends for him in his future, especially in the NFL. I mean, that was, you just watch it, regardless of knowing whether he plays safety or corner or nickel or linebacker, that he was lined up at linebacker, had a great fit, made a great tackle.
Chance Williams was the one who recovered the fumble, number 13. But to your point, you know, talking to Kevin Steele about it, he said it earlier. Steele says, defensive coordinator, okay, Zero's going to make a lot of money at the next level if he wants to play closer to the line of scrimmage. Now, a lot of cats don't want to change positions.
Yeah.
Like Williams, like, I'm a free safety, and that's what I am. But you can call yourself a free safety, and Steele's going to move you all over the field where you can play like a linebacker and make plays like a linebacker.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, good job by Steele, too. You know, utilizing your personnel in certain ways. They have different packages based on what the offense is going to put out there. That was just a really, really good play by James Williams.
Franklin stuffed, nothing doing. Miami, they've gotten their running game going here in the second half, Mark. They're all the way up to 187 yards. But you still got to tip your cap to this defensive front here for Southern Miss.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, I mean, again, you wouldn't know it by watching, but, you know, this is a group of 5 team in Southern Miss. And they're going against a Miami team that had a top 15 recruiting class last year, a lot of high hopes, and they've been competing and competing hard.
Almost everybody back on this offense from last year.
And talking defense, it was a big second half for this Miami defense, and it needed to be, because last week they had a big win, but I didn't think they played really that sound defensively. Gave up some big plays, didn't get downhill, allowed some of the blocks. They caught blocks, snuck around blocks, but they did a really good job of fighting back in this second half and made some big plays, and those are things you can build off of this week going into A&M next week.
Henry Parrish puts his shoulders down, picks up the first down. That Miami defense in this half shut out Southern Miss. They've only allowed 5 first downs and 97 total yards. So Miami didn't even have the lead in the game, Mark, until the final minute of that first half, and they've owned this second half.
Right, and you talk about the defensive success. That's led to 24 unanswered points for Miami's offense. And 10 of those, or 4 of Miami's 5 scoring drives have been 10-plus plays. So defense has gotten a little bit of a break on the sideline. When they have been on the field, they performed well. Miami ball when we come back.
Just inside of 6 minutes left to go in this game. Miami with the lead by 3 touchdowns. They didn't take the lead in this game, though, until last minute of the first half in terms of taking the lead for good. But they really came out and took control of the game in this third quarter, and they've done likewise here in the fourth. Parrish. Here's Keyshawn Smith, 30. Picks up a couple before Jay Jones sends him to the turf.
Tried 2 of those reverses today. Good job on both of them. Southern Miss defense not getting fooled.
Parrish dropped for a loss.
Nice play.
Nice play by Jay Jones, calling his name a lot here in the second half.
Good job by Jones. Understanding the run set, filling the gap, making a play, and third down here for Tyler Van Dyke in this Miami offense.
7 tackles on the day for Jones.
Frank Ladson, all the way to the top of your screen, transferred from Clemson.
Big time recruit when he signed with Clemson out of high school. Now with Miami. He and Joseph Ngata were going to be the 1-2 punch there at Clemson for a while.
Gotta get going. Gotta line up.
Just got the play off. Parrish dropped again for a loss. Dalen Gill. Think about the 3 plays we've seen since that timeout called by Miami, and Josh Gaddis and Mario Cristobal can't be very happy with what transpired.
No, and the game is in a situation where you're probably going to get the win. However, you need to close them out. Like you can't all of a sudden look at the scoreboard as an offensive line or just anyone on the team and be like, okay, we got to win. If you're a player, don't look up there. I mean, you got to play. You got to play like you're down 27-7.
Borregales, he's got a big leg, and he showed it on that 48-yard attempt. Easily splitting the uprights, so 3 field goals on the day for Borregales. 30-7 Miami. Let's take a look at our game MVP. It's brought to you by Sport Clips, and it's Henry Parrish. Second week in a row he's led this team in rushing.
Yeah, and I think he had 100 yards before those last 2 plays, but he did it out of the backfield. You see the swing pass, and that you need a running back who can catch the ball when you're doing this kind of West Coast style offense. That check down turns into first downs, and then he did it on the ground. Followed his blockers, left up over. That was his touchdown. But you get this versatile type of back, and that's what makes this offense go, because when Tyler Van Dyke, when he's able to throw the ball downfield, he knows, look, I got a back that I got to check the ball down to. When they do want to run the ball, they have a back who can break tackles and make things happen. So, Henry Parrish last 2 weeks have been huge for them as they get Jalen Knighton back 100% healthy, and Thad Franklin, another big game from him as well, with 66 yards and a touchdown on the ground. This is a running back room that has become a strength of this team in this offseason.
A lot of work to do in the next week. They will head to College Station to take on Texas A&M next Saturday. 2-0 on the year. Harrell.
That's a big hit.
Banged into it, the 23, kept his feet though and surged forward for another couple of yards. Southern Miss continues to play hard here at 3.5 minutes left to go. There's Franklin and Parrish.
21 and 22, and a little bit more width of the back of 22. Their big back. But you see the day right there for Henry Parrish.
Wilkie drops a snap. Gore was able to pick it up though and trying to do something with it. Unfortunately, that ends up being a loss of about 1.5 yards. Frustrating day for that young man.
Yeah, frustrating day, and not all of it was his fault. Play calls were in such a way where there's a lot more throws than there were runs, and but being able to do both, it's big for Southern Miss. And this is a storied program as well, much like Miami. Southern Miss, used to being some top dogs, and in the Sun Belt Conference now, competition gets a little bit better, and they're trying to build up the foundation. Big, great recruiting base in that Mississippi area into Louisiana, and they're excited about what they got going forward.
You think about some of the coaches they've had there over the years: Bobby Collins, Jeff Bauer, Larry Fedora. Of course, the Brett Favre years. That's good teams. Wilkie has a receiver wide open, just couldn't connect. How does that guy get wide open? That's Jason Brownlee.
Yeah, again, you can't relax defensively. A little switch route, stutter step up the sidelines. It's a miss by Wilkie, but you've got to be impressed with the way Wilkie's played in this game. His composure, some of the throws he's made while taking hits.
First ever action for the true freshman out of Hernando, Mississippi. Restrepo back to receive this Hunt punt. Another good kick. Mason Hunt's having himself a day. Restrepo fair catch at his own 29. Here's what Miami has coming up. Mentioned their game against A&M in College Station next week. So after 2 home games here at Hard Rock, on the road, that game on ESPN. Middle Tennessee back here at home, and then they begin ACC play in earnest.
Yep, and then it's all ACC from then on out with a tough finish. Clemson, Pittsburgh.
I thought you were going to say the last 3 games.
Well,
part of that tough finish.
Sorry, Chris, Georgia Tech alum, but maybe we'll
not
see.
as tough. Maybe not as tough.
Not as tough, but yeah, and then Florida State too.
Sure.
We watched what Florida State did versus LSU.
They're the real deal, and on defense especially.
Yeah.
They're much more saltier than we've seen over the last couple of years.
Agreed.
Van Dyke, pressure comes. They're going to drop him. You surprised he's still in the game with 2 minutes left to go?
Yeah. I mean, a little surprised. We got to see Jake Garcia last week, who came into the game and went 7 for 7.
No, that's going to be it.
All he needed was 1 more sack. Okay. And Jake mentioned he was 7 for 7 last week for 88 yards.
Franklin in the backfield with Jake Garcia. Kid from California who played his high school ball in Georgia, Grayson High School, suburban Atlanta. Puts the ball right in the money. Keyshawn Smith still on his feet. There's Garcia, highly recruited kid himself.
Yeah, and you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of these highly recruited kids into Miami now. The way that they're recruiting, the way that they're using the transfer portal. I mean, they have just lots of really, really talented players. And we're talking to Mario Cristobal. He said, look, we have done the talent acquisition. Now it's player development. They have a lot of guys who are raw. They might be young. And now it's time to to coach, and now it's time to develop some of these players into that what Miami wants to be and what the Miami player needs to be if they want to compete and win championships at this level.
Keyshawn Smith on the receiving end. Final minute now from Miami. Furman Clemson coming up next here on the ACC network. And the Hurricanes will go back to work. Looking forward to that big showdown in College Station next Saturday on ESPN. Miami's going to take a delayed game here as they run the clock down to the final 20 seconds before Headley punts it away.
Play clock expired. Timeout called by Miami.
Look at the ACC preseason poll coming in. Clearly Clemson, especially with that defensive front, basically that whole front seven, could be dominant. Many people thought they would have a return to glory in the conference after Pitt was able to win the championship last year.
And you see there, and on the coastal side, Miami up there ahead of Pitt. Surprising to some, but a lot of faith in the coaching staff Cristobal's put together. And you mentioned Clemson. Obviously the question mark last year was, okay, the quarterback position. I don't know if those questions were answered in week 1 versus Georgia Tech, and a lot. I mean, football. Like, the quarterback position, you can be okay, but it's tough to win championships without a quarterback making plays.
Almost a turnover, and it was a turnover. Miami falls on it, gets it back at the 24. And NC State surviving.
Yeah.
How about that against East Carolina in the first week. But sometimes that first week, Mark, you just want to get that W out of the way. And a lot of teams have scares in the first week or two, and they end up having outstanding seasons when all is said and done.
Yeah, and I don't think any team embodied that more, and any coach understood that more than Mac Brown at UNC. I mean, that game, there were so many points put up. App State was in that game to the end, and you're sitting there as an ACC fan like, oh my gosh, this is not a good look for UNC. But Mac Brown was in the locker room dancing after the game because he understands how important it is to just get a win.
Just win,
get the win,
move on. That's what Mac Brown was able to do. It's what a lot of teams in that first week were able to do, NC State included, and Coach Doran. That should do it. Parrish adds to his total and his MVP performance on the day, and we've gone final here in Hard Rock. Coaches embrace in the middle of the field. Hall and Cristobal. As Southern Miss now looks forward to a game at home against Northwestern State. And Miami and